Peaceful demonstrations continued this morning in Vukovar against dual-language signs in Latin and Cyrillic script, which have been replaced on 5 state buildings after being torn down a day earlier. Some locals and war veterans have vowed to continue their protests, with many claiming that the 2011 census, which gave legal grounds for erecting the signs, was invalid. Prime Minister Zoran Milanovic said, speaking to Croatian radio this morning, that the major opposition party, the HDZ, was to blame for the protests. He reiterated that he would not back down from erecting the dual script signs in Vukovar and added that the amnesty legislation had been put in place 2 decades ago and that Croatia must show goodwill and adhere to its legal obligations. Ljubinko Radošević and Vojislav Grčić have been sentenced by the Osijek County Court to 12 years in prison pending appeal for the crime committed against civilians in 1991 and 1992 at the time of the Homeland War. The pair had raped a young woman and attacked her family members, who were forced to watch the molestation. The prosecution has announced it would appeal the sentence as it sees it as being too lenient in view of the seriousness of the crimes committed. Croatia has finally managed to stop its drop on the Global Competitiveness Index as it rose from the 81st position to the 75th, improving its standings by 6 places. Switzerland remains at the helm, with Singapore and Finland hot at its heels and Germany taking up the 4th position. Commenting on the improvement, the economy minister Ivan Vrdoljak said that it was obvious that the current government was, as he put it, 3rd times the charm for the Croatian economy, as the previous 2 governments only recorded drops in competitiveness on a global scale. Vrdoljak did admit, however, that the segments of public administration and the efficiency of the labour market still needed to be tackled. After the Czech J&T Bank announced it was backing down from recapitalizing Centar Banka on Tuesday, the bank received an order from the central bank to immediately stop offering any services. The Central Bank Advisory Council decided to file a motion with the Zagreb Commercial Court for bankruptcy proceedings to commence. Centar Banka is still clinging on to hope that the proposal for bankruptcy proceedings may be withdrawn if within 30 days it manages to find an interested partner to take over the bank. The last bankruptcy of a bank in Croatia was recorded in January 2012 when the split-based Credo Banka went under. And in sports, last night saw yet another high-energy edition of the Zagreb Hanžeković Memorial Track and Field Meet of the IAAF World Challenge Series, but the hometown girl discus-throwing Olympic champion Sandra Perković, currently plagued by back injury, did not manage a win this year and came in second with a throw of 65.63 meters, this being her first defeat of the season. She was beaten by Gia Lewis-Smallwood of the United States, who managed a throw of 66.29 meters. The European Basketball Championships opened in Ljubljana, Slovenia last night and will last until September 22nd. Some 24 national teams are competing. The Croatian squad is to play against the reigning champions Spain in Celje at 5:45 this afternoon in the first round of play in Group C. And the weather for the rest of the day. The Adriatic will enjoy a sunny afternoon, while the inland areas will be mostly sunny with some moderate cloud buildup and the possibility of light rain. Winds light, some light to moderate bore along the coast, turning to moderate northwesterly in the open. Seas light to moderate choppy and visibility good. Afternoon highs between 26 degrees inland and 31 along the coast.